What's up guys, welcome back to FarmStrong. My name's Jack and thanks for joining me for another week on the channel. I'm currently hiding in the shed as it's blowing a fair gale outside. Wind's really picked up today, and to be fair, all week it's been a little bit blowy, but I guess that'll be doing a job drying out the little bit spring ground we've still got to drill. So there's some spring beans to go in here at home, and I imagine hopefully they'll be good to go in the next week to 2 weeks, or certainly by the end of the month. But yeah, the wind will be doing a bit of a job, at least just drying off the top in there. Probably going to be a bit of a short video this week. It's Thursday morning currently. Haven't had the phone out much. Been away from the farm a couple of times this week, and otherwise sort of been buried in the office. But did have a trip out on Monday. Catchment sensitive farming were running a healthy soils event at AT Bone & Sons, which is a big agribusiness based sort of just south of Hartford. So a couple of speakers telling us about soils, how we should be keeping them healthy, etc, etc. So that was interesting. But then a very interesting tour round the yard at AT Bone. They're a very large business. They're contract farming, I think 11,000 acres across 8 agreements. And then they're diversified in lots of different bits as well. They're doing a lot of civil and construction work. They're designing and building their own sheds, large wood chipping enterprise. They've got a large boiler and drying wood chip. They've got straw. They're growing, combining, crimping maize and clamping that and selling that direct to livestock farmers. And then what have I missed? Yeah, there's other things in there as well. So that was a really interesting tour of their farmyard, them talking about how their business, the equipment they're using. I'll actually just chuck in a quick photo I got of Dad standing next to their 18-metre Horsch Avatar drill, which I think is the only one in the country. So yeah, serious bit of kit. So that sort of shows the investment that they're making. So yeah, really enjoyed that. It's always good seeing how other businesses have grown and work, and seeing if we can apply obviously any of that back here at home. Also, we've taken the delivery of a new purchase this week. Didn't manage to get the camera out when it's being dropped off, but it's only came on a small flatbed lorry. It's a little 3-metre gutter press, which I'll go over and show you. But our plan is to retrofit that onto our Triton drill. It's our 6-metre Triton drill. We've only got a 3-metre bit, but Dad saw it online second hand, and we thought it was a good opportunity to just hopefully buy that bit a bit cheaper. I think we've had the idea for a little while that we want to fit that on the drill instead of the wheels and following harrow. We think it will do a little bit better of a job setting the height and tidying up behind the drill. So I'll go over and show you that now. So here's the gutter press that Dad's purchased. I think the manufacturers, it's a unique design to them. So these little press rings, you can get metal ones, but the ones on here are plastic. So that's going to help us with the weight on the machine, with it being mounted and 6 metres. So this is just a little 3-metre section that we found online. Pretty simple really, and I think actually it did come off a Triton drill as well. So we hopefully won't have too much trouble retrofitting that to our machine. Here's the Triton drill, the 6-metre Triton drill that we've got the idea of fitting this press onto. So what we want to do is remove the following harrows and the wheels, and then that 3-metre section that we purchased already can run directly behind the machine at the back here, and then we'll either have to find second hand or new 2 1.5-metre sections that can fold on the wings. So yeah, we'll remove the harrows and the wheels and then retrofit those onto the machine, hopefully without too much difficulty, but yet to be determined. And I think the reason for doing it is just that I think the gutler press is going to give us some better depth control and just finish off the ground nicely behind the harrows. And doing away with the wheels would just be nice. You obviously get left with a little bit of a wheel track, especially if you're working in some wetter ground. So a bit of a modification that we'll probably do over the next year or so when we get our act together. Finishing up our seed cleaning, so the last crop of grass seed is nearly finished going through. I'll just chuck in a couple of clips I got of that this morning, tidying up the shed. So the last bit's in the pit now, and that will finish up today, and then that can go back up to the other farm and get bagged up. Dad's just bringing back the waste trailer from tipping that at the local pig farm. So I'll back that in and we'll get the dresser fired up again this morning just to finish off this grass crop. That's the little bit we've got left in the pit. And then this is the little bit we've got left in the back of the shed. So not much to go, but we'll fill a trailer up, and I expect the last little bit will need to go in another one. So just grabbing this last bit now. Bit of bucket work and then trusty broom and shovel, tidy it up. Nice empty floor. We'll come back and blow this down, clean it up another day, and then probably at some point we pull those concrete A blocks out and just tidy up underneath those, as there's always a bit of seed that gets caught in there, and then it's a bit of a vermin draw. Jumped in the 820 and pull this blue trailer out, and then I could back the full one straight in with a 4 or 5,000. I'll pull the sheet over on this trailer and then we'll get it pulled out, ready to go to the other farm. We'll fire up the Classic and get it pulled out. Got to have the gear lever in the right place. Get it to start. Mission complete. Dad's just jumped in the 820. Hopefully going to drop that blue trailer off for me, and then we'll back her under. It is blowing a serious gale out here. Look at those trees. So anytime we put a new trailer under, Just make sure it's swept out so that we're obviously not mixing any seed into our nice clean seed that comes out that spout. We'll just be popping back now to make sure that all goes through in the pit. Friday afternoon now, and I thought it was cold enough, well, windy enough for me to put the woolly hat on today. We just finished running the last of the grass seed through. Didn't get round to it yesterday afternoon in the end, so ran that through this morning. So the dresser's switched off, and that's all done and dusted for this season. Now, got a lorry turning up here shortly. Another load of our wheat going out. I think we had a March contract with 3 loads, so I'm not sure if this is the first or second one of those, but yeah, definitely one lorry coming, so I'll be loading that with Dad. I just see Alice Chalmers obviously in the background there. I know I did make some promises about getting that finished March, April time. I have actually made some good progress on the engine, but I've been slowed down by the fact that I'm waiting to get the right piston rings for it, as the ones I'd ordered were too large. Seems some confusion over the engine size with these. What's written in the book isn't actually what the size is. So yeah, I need to chase the guy. Hopefully he can get the right rings for me fairly soon, and then that should be back on the road, but we shall see. Maybe I need to do it before harvest, otherwise it's going to be September before I'm cruising it. Perhaps it'd be nice to finish it before harvest and drive to the pub in it or something. Not so much wheat at the back of the shed now. Nearly getting a ramp just to the back. A lot of floor space. Lorry's out there. Weight scale's not working, so we're counting buckets. Lorry driver said he'd just come from the mill in Harlow. Was off to Loughborough with it somewhere. Really doesn't feel like it's going to be too long and we'll be back in trailers in there filling this up again, but I think spring's going to fly by. Guys, I'm afraid that's it for this week's video. Dad's just chucking the last bucket of wheat in the lorry now. Sorry not being loads of content this week, but hopefully next week be back with a little bit more. As always, please like and subscribe, but thanks for watching. Take it easy and see you soon.